Hello everyone, Hannah of H&K Drama here today, and I have another anime review for you guys. Today I'm going to be reviewing Free, which is that swimming anime that everybody talks about. I should probably first start out by saying that I am in fact a swimmer, so I feel like I can give a pretty good review of this anime. Like, swimming is the only sport I actually actively participate in because I'm against sports in most forms, except for when they involve water, because I freaking love the water. Like, I just love swimming. Like, swimming is just the bomb. Also, before we get started, I feel like I should show you guys this. See this swim cap? Do you see what's on it? That is, in fact, a macaroni and cheese swim cap. Like, yes, I love this thing. So the first part of this is going to be spoiler free, and then I'll tell you when you can leave if you haven't seen the show yet, and then I'll get into spoilers. So this anime kind of follows four boys who grew up together and went to this swim club together, and they had this really awesome relay team, and then one of the members leaves and kind of drifts apart from the others, and then when he comes back, he's not really the same. And this whole show kind of revolves around figuring out why he is like this and, like, why he is so angry about just swimming in general and, like, what swimming is really all about and what being on a team is really all about. And it's just, like, friendship. Like, that's probably the theme of this show, is just friendship and what being on a team is, and teamwork, and just, yeah, that sort of thing. I really love the animation in this show. I just really like the way all the water is animated. I just think it's so cool, and I really like all the characters a lot. My favorite would have to be Ray. Just, I love him, because he's such a nerd. Like, he's like, I'm just gonna study all the theories about swimming, and then I'll know exactly what to do, even though it doesn't actually work like that. It's funny because, like, all the boys in this show, like, are like, I'm a boy, but I have a really girly name, because apparently all their names are, like, really girly in Japanese or something. This show also has a lot of fan service, which is to be expected. It's a swimming anime. I mean, when I'm swimming, I'm not, like, wearing all my clothes. I got a swimsuit on, so, you know, that just happens. This show is also relatively short. The first season, which is what I watched, is only 12 episodes. There is a second season, which I may be reviewing in the future once I actually watch it. I'm going to watch it soon. Don't worry. This show doesn't have, like, the most complex plot or anything, but I just really love it because I'm a swimmer, and so I feel like it might be slightly biased in my feelings towards this, but just swimming. If you like swimming, you would like this show. If you're a swimmer, you'll relate to this show, because I was watching this show, and during literally the first 2 minutes, I was like, that's exactly how I feel. This is the most relatable swimming show I've ever watched. Also the only swimming show I've ever watched. So I would highly recommend it, especially if you're an athlete of any sort. I feel like it's pretty relatable, even if you're not necessarily a swimmer, but just an athlete in general, or if you're just looking for a fun, adorable show about friendship and that sort of thing. Anyway, that's probably all I can say without giving stuff away, because, like, you don't want spoilers. You want to go watch it. Trust me, it's only 12 episodes. Won't take you too long. You can just finish the show and then come back and listen to the rest of what I have to say. So I connect a lot with Haru in terms of my attitude towards swimming. Like, the reason I swim is because A, I really love my teammates, and I like being around them. They're my friends, and, like, I just want to swim with them more than anything, and I just like the water. So it's like these two things I just super, super relate to, because I'm honestly, I mean, the only reason I better my time is because my coach pushes me to better my time, not necessarily because I care about bettering my time. I just want to swim, and I just want to swim with other people. And so I really enjoyed the fact that that concept was in here, and that it wasn't all about, like, oh, you gotta better your time, you gotta race, you gotta win, win, win. And sometimes it's not always about winning. Sometimes it's just being a part of the team and, like, doing what you love with the people you care about. And I'm just like, I really liked that theme. Swimming is honestly one of those sports where I feel like the bond between teammates is a lot closer than the bond between some other sports, because unlike a lot of other sports that are more team-centered, swimming, while it is a team sport, is still more individual, like an individual sport. Like, you're racing against yourself, basically, to better your time. And so I feel like when that happens, you have your teammates there to sort of encourage you. It's not really Since it's not really a competition between teammates necessarily, it's more like oh, I hope you do really good on your 50 free, or way to go on your 100 back or something. It's like you just manage to lift each other up. Also, if you see people naked on a daily basis, there's no way you can't get close to them. Like, it just happens, okay? When you change in locker rooms with all these people, like, you're gonna be friends, okay? I mean, let's be real. Swimmers have no shame. None whatsoever. The one part in the show where they're camping on their deserted island and Ray decides to go out into the middle of the ocean and swim to try and better his stroke, I was just like, okay, this is a bad idea. Like, you should just unthink this idea, first of all. Oceans are dangerous, like rip currents. Why would you go out there in the middle of the freaking night? Like, sharks, hello. Like, that part just kind of killed me a little bit. I was like, no, don't die. Please don't. And then when Mokuto went out to save him, and then he panicked because of traumatic childhood experiences, I was just like, ugh. Like, I loved him as a captain so much. I felt like out of all four of them, he was, like, the perfect team captain, because he was able to, like, kind of put his own issues aside for, like, the good of the team, and he was just so kind, and just, he was a perfect captain. Perfect. I'm really interested to see what happens kind of after the end of this season, because I know, like, there's a second season that I'm going to watch soon. But, like, I want to know, does Ren decide to, like, move to their school to join up with his old swim team? Like, I really want that to happen. I hope that happens. That's, like, a wish that I have. Also, this is probably one of the only shows that I will watch the entire end credits, because the song and just the whatever, what would you call that? The, like, animation? What? I don't know how to call that. Like, what's going on behind the credits? I just really like to watch for some reason. I just find it really funny. Like, I just really like the end credits of the show. The show had a really small cast of characters, but I felt like that kind of worked in its favor. Like, you don't need a really big cast of characters to get the point of this show across. And, like, sometimes when there's less characters, you get to learn more about the characters rather than getting so spread thin, and so I really like that. I still don't know how I feel about Ren. Like, I didn't really like him at the beginning of the show, and now I still am not quite sure how I feel about him. I'm really going to have to, I keep saying I'm going to have to watch this second season. I'm going to have to watch this second season to see, like, where his character goes from here. Like, I'm really glad he came to the realization that swimming is really just about, like, being with your teammates, and just the fact that, like, it's not always about being the fastest, and, like, you know, aspiring to be an Olympic swimmer is great and all, but, like, it's more important to focus on kind of the people you're with and, like, the whole point of the sport. I mean, the point of any sport is to have fun. If you're doing a sport and you're not happy about it because you feel like you're not good enough, then maybe you should think about something else and maybe change your tactics in terms of what you're doing, because that's just not going to work out. This show actually gave me anxiety because before the swim meets, I was getting, like, pre-swim meet butterflies in my stomach like I normally get when I go to a swim meet. I was just like, this is a really realistic feeling. Like, it was weird. I was kind of having a bit of deja vu, because I was like, oh, this reminds me of when I went to districts, like, it was weird. Like, I was actually getting anxious about fictional characters in an animated cartoon about to have a swim meet. Yeah. At the beginning of the show, I really liked the fact that they, like, refurbished the whole pool. Like, I think that's really cool that these four boys decided to, like, revamp the swim team that was, like, non-existent, and, like, redoing a pool and fixing all up is, like, a great team bonding experience. Just, yes. I honestly feel like this review was, like, 60% me talking about my own experience as a swimmer and, like, 40% of me actually talking about the actual anime, but just know that my experiences as a swimmer relate to this anime a lot, and I really need to talk about this because there's nobody else I can talk to about this. So, yeah, I'm sorry about this. I'm not really sorry, but, you know. So, anyway, I think that's probably enough for me to say, and I give this anime probably, like, a 4 to 4.5 out of 5. That extra 0.5 is just for me being like, this show is relatable. But, you know, I think it was a solid show. It was likable. It wasn't, like, super, like, mind-blowing or, like, really, intriguing or addicting or anything, but it was really enjoyable and fun, and it made me happy. It just made me really happy. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and to comment below and subscribe. And me or Katie or the both of us will see you soon in another video. Goodbye!